Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. So in this video I'm going to show you how to update an n8n server. Because as you know nowadays, almost every month there's a new version released and it's very important to keep it updated. So stay until the end of the video because I'm actually going to give you a link that will let you see all the commands I'll be using here to update the server so that your server will simply be running the very latest version. So first question, why do we need to update the server? Well, quite simply, there are a lot of nodes being added and they need to have the very latest version in order to function properly. So if we work with a server without updating it to the latest version, honestly, it's going to be a waste. We'll have workflows that aren't actually optimized and that won't use the very latest nodes. So I always recommend that you update, but is updating easy or not? Be careful, it is easy, but you need to make backups. Why? Because sometimes if you make the wrong moves, all the workflows you've created, even the credentials, you could lose them. And that's a shame, especially if you're someone who works a lot with workflows. It's really important to keep your backup. So this training is of course mainly intended for people who have self-hosted n8n servers, meaning those installed on an external server. And of course, even here on the official n8n website, we also have the option to perform updates automatically. So for those who don't have a server, it's actually important to have an unlimited server, because with an unlimited server, you'll see that it also allows you to use the very latest update, and above all, it can activate workflows in an unlimited way. That's a bit of the limitation we have today with the n8n website. If I go to the pricing section, that's always the issue. They only allow me 5 workflows and I pay around $20 a month. On the other hand, if I go with servers, like for example Hostinger, there I pay 6.99 euros per month. And what's very important is that I have an unlimited number of active workflows. So that's why I always recommend that you go for unlimited servers, because it allows you not to have any restrictions on the number of active workflows. Here on Hostinger, thanks to a partnership, I was able to negotiate with them. They gave me a coupon that you can use called DFRES. It's a simple coupon that you just enter here. This will give you an additional discount. You'll see that I can actually get the offer at an even better price. Now, let's get started. We're going to try to access a server, and more specifically a section called the terminal. Thanks to this section, I'll be able to run quite a few commands to simply get the very latest version on the system. I'll go step by step. I'll also provide you with the documentation, and I'll help explain each command what it does and how to successfully update a server so that in just 10 minutes, you'll have the very latest version installed safely. Thank you very much, and let's get started. So the first thing to do is to check our server's version. So we click here, and there's an About section. And here I have version 1.843. So this is the version we're going to try to update. So the first thing to do is to access my server, no matter which hosting provider you use. You always have access to what's called SSH. That's what we call the terminal. You'll see that when I click here, I'm going to run a few commands. And among the first commands is to check whether Docker and Docker Compose are properly installed. Because with these two components, I can simply perform installations and updates. And to do that, you just need to go to the documentation. Here, I'm actually running the command to check the version of Docker that's installed here. So here, I press enter. Now it tells me, it gives me a version. So what's important for me is that there is an existing version. If there's nothing, if it doesn't find anything about Docker, obviously you would need to install it. To install it, it's simply you can just ask ChatGPT and it will give you the command to install it. But generally, of course, if you use hosting like Hostinger, Docker is always already installed. The second command here is to check the Docker Compose version. So here is the version of Docker Compose, which is very important. Same thing, I come here, I run the command, and it tells me, there you go, it's properly installed. So now I'm actually ready to look for the container on the server in order to update it. But what's very important is that we've completed the first step, which is crucial, opening the terminal, and in the terminal we've checked that Docker is properly installed. It's actually thanks to these two components that I can simply go ahead and run the updates. Alright, so now I actually need to check the name of my n8n container. This is the container, just to make things clearer. If you want, it's the system that runs the n8n server. Now, you have to be very careful. We have the container, and we also have what's called the data volume. So what is the data volume? You see all the workflows, the credentials we've created in n8n, they're saved separately from the container. That means separately from the system. They're in a separate folder. And actually, when we do the update, we're only going to update the container. There's no need to touch the data or delete it, because when we update the container to the latest version, we're going to use the existing data. But still, I'm going to make a backup afterwards. The backup is really just to make sure that if there's ever an error, a problem, a connection issue, or anything, we won't lose the workflows. I do this purely as a precaution. If, for example, the installation doesn't finish properly, I won't lose everything. So I can recover this folder if needed. But it's true that some people say making a backup is optional, because when we update, it's just the containers, not the folders. But in my experience, this actually happened to a client of mine. During the installation, there was an issue with the new container and we couldn't get the old container to start. Fortunately, we had that backup. Otherwise, it would have been a disaster. We would have lost all the workflows. Look here, when you check, you can see all these workflows. They're in a separate folder. Even the credentials, in fact, all the connections you've set up are also stored in another folder. We're going to find out where these two folders are located. Alright, let's get started. First thing, I'm going to retrieve the name of my container. So here I just copy this command, quite simply. I come here to the terminal and run it. Here, I execute the command, I press enter, and you see that the system here has given me the information. It told me, look, there are two images that are active. There's this first image here, that's the name of n8n. And there's another image running called Traffic. So I have these two pieces of information here, and it even tells me when they were created, their status, they are online. So basically they've been active for 2 months. So for me, I simply have these two images, and that's where I'll be making interventions on these two images. If I go here, I'll simply check the image volume, and where the data is copied. Now I'm running the second command, as you can see here. Here, remember this name, it's root n8n1. That's the image I'm interested in, the one I'm going to update. This, if you like, is the first name. Okay, now let's run it to take a look at the data. It tells me, look, the data is properly saved here in n8n data. That's very good. This folder is a very important one, as it contains the workflows and credentials that we need to keep and back up as well. Now, once we've checked the container names and the data, their folder, we're ready to move on to making the backup, then proceed with the update and check that everything is working properly. Now we're going to create a folder to store the backups inside. As you can see here, we're going to name the folder with the date. This is just to be sure, because when you do a lot of updates throughout the year, each time you'll end up creating several folders. That's why we're going to try to create a folder dynamically. Here we'll use today's date. I'm going to copy this command. I come here and tell it, create the folder for me. That's good. Now the folder has been created. It doesn't give you any badge or notification. It's simply the creation of a folder that will be inside another folder called n8n backup, because it's inside that folder where I store all the backups. Next, we need to export the workflows and then export the credentials. I copy this. Quite simply, you copy all of this. It will understand that the workflows should go into that folder. It will even create a subfolder called workflow. So it's just a simple command. I come here and paste it. I let it run. Of course, it all depends on how many folders you have. If you don't have a lot of folders, it will be very quick. If it's just a few folders, it will go very quickly. Now it tells me, very good. I have 46 workflows that have just been exported. They are now in the new folder. Now I'm going to move on to copying the credentials. Here, we're going to copy here. Same thing. I have several credentials, so this will save me from having to re-enter them if they get lost. Here, I have 38 credentials. Afterwards, once that's done, I can simply retrieve these files on the server. You'll see that now I'm going to copy this. And there you go, it's almost as if we're really retrieving it right now. And we do it like this and launch it. So as a result, everything has been copied onto our server. We can check if the folder is properly installed or not. Here, for example, I can take this If I go and look here, it will give me a quick preview of the different files. When we look here, it just created the folder with today's date. I can also look inside directly to see what's inside that folder. Now we're gonna try to copy. So here we're gonna add something right now. We're also going to add a slash. So here I'm going to enter the folder name, actually 20250618. There we go. Now we're going to try to access that folder. Let's see what it gives us. Well, there are two of them. We're also going to add enter to see the workflow. I was supposed to find all the JSON files here actually. A workflow at the end, yes, and there you go. So here, actually this, there you have it. This actually proves that all the information was indeed properly installed. Okay, what I need to do now is try to work a bit to retrieve, well, the new version of n8n. So I'm going to download it now. So to download it, quite simply, I copy this command here and press enter. It all depends on your internet connection. If you have a good connection, it takes less than a minute. So there you go. It's extracting, and there you have it. So now it's downloading all the files for the latest version. That's what's really impressive. It's fetching the very latest one. We'll leave it for a few moments while it finishes. And then we'll move on to the next command. Very well. So now what I'm going to do is check if I've actually installed the file correctly. So now I'm going to press enter, and thanks to this command, it tells me, look, there's a folder that contains 1 GB, which was just downloaded 33 minutes ago, and here it is. We're good now. I need to look for a file called docker compose. Usually it's in the root directory, but you never know if it's not in the root. You just need to run the command to find it. Here it tells me that it is indeed in the root. Look, if I run ls, I'll find it right there. If it's not in the root, you have to go and access it, To access it, you use cd and enter the path where that file is located. It's very simple. For me, it's in the root, so we're already in the right place. What am I going to do? I'm going to start by stopping it now, without deleting the container files, okay? So here, it's very important, the current container. I'm going to do it like this. We're going to stop it. You'll see that in just a moment. It's going to stop n8n, the one we saw from the beginning, and this one as well. They will be stopped and removed, but don't worry, it won't delete the folder. It's true that we made a copy of the data, so it won't delete them. But still, here, it's confirming to me that the current containers are no longer actually operational. Solution. Of course, as planned, we're definitely going to go ahead and launch our new container as expected. So first, we need to run this command. So I come here, and you have to make sure you're in the same folder where the docker compose file exists. Mine is in the root directory, so I stay here in the root. And now I come here and I actually paste this command and run it. And now what it's doing is setting up the new container that contains the very latest version. So that's all done. We're almost finished. It asks to restart. It would be good to restart so that the new container can actually do its job. And there it is. That's the new one. Now it's in action mode. And once it's done, of course, I can check the very latest version. Now, if I copy this, I'll click here to check. It tells me, congratulations, you have version 1.9.8.2. That's the very latest version. There's an option here to delete images that we're no longer using. This is optional, you don't have to do it, but I'd like to free up a bit of space. I copy this command, I type yes to confirm, and now it's going to delete the images we're no longer using. So it only takes a few seconds and I won't have those images anymore, and I'll free up some space, If I come back here rather, let's go to our server. Here I'm going to refresh the page. And what am I going to do? I'm going to go here and click on About, and there you go. Now I have the very latest version. By the way, look here, it just added this image to my dashboard. Anyway, here I have the very latest version, and there you go, I saved 9,700 megabytes because we deleted the images we no longer use. And now the update has been completed successfully. So if you simply enjoyed this video and if you stayed until now, I think you're interested in improving your skills with n8n. What I'm offering you here is directly on our website. You can access it directly by typing Dr. Firas by P. Here, there are 25 courses that I created covering everything about n8n make and low code. These are training courses that give you access to my workflows and above all teach you how to create these workflows yourself. It's not just about importing workflows, but about how to build them from A to Z, starting from a blank page. You can use this special YouTube coupon, YT20. This allows you to get a discount. And as soon as you click here, you will of course be able to download all of these courses, and you have a 14-day guarantee. Similarly, there's a bundle that contains 100 courses. And here in this bundle, I'm giving a gift, which is the 25 courses. They're included here. This is a gift I made especially for my community. This allows you to access 125 courses. And all of this, of course, always comes with a discount coupon that you can get here. Once you have accessed these bundles, head over to our interface. In this interface, you will find all my courses. You simply need to select the course that interests you. Once you click, you will find the workflow to download, the documentation, and also the videos, as you can see here, which show you step by step how to create, set up, and configure everything. So I want to thank you very much, and I'll see you right away in the training interface.